Hello everybody, welcome back to Salt and Sanctuary. Much like other LPs I've done, this is going to be a video of me trying to remember how the hell do I play this game, because I haven't played in like, what, 1 or 2 months?
When the video started, it sounded like a chicken just ran into the room, and it looked like one for a second, but it was another player.
Huh. I didn't catch on that audio cue. Maybe it's just because I've, wasn't paying attention? I don't know, I didn't hear a chicken claw. Weird. Right now I'm looking at my inventory though, I was trying to see if there's anything interesting, but not. So we're gonna go down what people typically see for Bandit's Pass. And that is, respawning enemies.
Infinitely?
Luckily no, just, agonizingly so.
So more like the mosquitoes in Blighttown.
Yeah, basically, they're there to trip up players that think that it's going to be a single instance, but then, then you just are suddenly flanked and you're dead. Also, I don't think I used this in any of the last videos. This is the red shard. It's kind of like the gems in Dark Souls 2.
Do those also replenish when you go to a sanctuary?
No, those are purchased in finite. Well, as finite as your gold, which is infinite. Now this area is often a pain if you go here first because these axe guys, they never stop attacking. And up there on the top right is the most annoying one. You'll see why in a couple minutes. Also, I totally just got parried right now.
Pest mud.
Pest mud is a kind of poison, I believe. But yeah, we're gonna see why I don't like that dude on the top right there. Because all he ever does is camp the top right corner and never lets you get on. And then throws axes at you so you can't progress.
Damn Hammer Brothers.
Now normally I would just go up and, air combo him because that's what you're supposed to do, but this Bodor sucks.
You were mentioning in the chat that your decision to use an ore-only run is going to hurt you in multiple ways.
Yeah, this is one of them, but this is the most benign way. Fucking, are you kidding me? But, later in the game, the developers really have a antagonistic view of strike damage. I'll explain on each boss, but right now I'm just trying to poison this idiot because I'm boring. I don't even poison him, I just straight up kill him. And it's not even worth it.
At least it doesn't block a path.
Yeah. Yeah, we were here last video. This is where the forked paths intertwine. Back to here, because this is our new area. And one thing I like to do is leave a bottled message up there just as kind of a joke, but I forgot to do with this recording. Oh well. But this is the, I always forget the name of this place. Castle of Storms?
I believe so.
It's very dark, it's very big, and it's also got a lot of annoying people that have nothing to do with lighting, so here we go. If you ever played Dark Souls, this is basically like the big things you find in, what was it, Anor Londo?
Yeah.
I think it was Anor Londo. They're big, they're dumb, they have huge shockwaves, and they have very well-placed, buddies that will give you no end of frustration.
I do like their little chattering jaw, though.
Yeah, the flame skulls are there to be an annoyance. They're exactly like the flame skulls in Doom, except they don't kamikaze. Now, I don't like fighting these guys whatsoever. Sure, they give a lot of gold and salt, but they're never worth the effort. It's just a slow and boring process to kill them. And if you ever get hit, it's even slower. Now, here's one thing we haven't seen because online functionality is weird for me. These are effectively bloodstains, and the little gravestone that appears is tied to whatever, I always forget what they're called. Covenant, whatever. They're always tied to what you are, so we saw one from, like, the iron ones and from the religious one that I can't remember either. I'm not good with names, so please bear with me.
Tied only to what the gravestone looks like, or the graves you actually find.
It's what they look like. Like, depending on the Covenant, it'll have a different looking gravestone, but it'll always be the same effect. Now, good encounter design. This is how you learn about traps here. That's also how you get stabbed in the fucking face. Ow. Luckily, this guy's an idiot. That's one thing I kind of like about this game. They teach you about traps and enemies in a decent way, in a well-designed way, but also, the AI could stand to be a little, more intelligent about it after the first time. Also, we got a spell called Lightning Barrage. That is one of the two, what I like to call damage hoses in the game. All it is just a stream of elemental damage going right towards your target. And it drains your, stamina damn near instantly. But it's very fucking powerful. I also just beat a wizard to death with a boat oar.
Sure, magic's overpowered.
Now, we got a shortcut to unlock and a quest line to continue. Buddy, I can't see anything. It's like pitch black out here.
He's just staring right at the wall.
Hey, yeah, I never thought of that. It's like, man, this is a great view of a crane, isn't it? But yeah, he doesn't have much to say here. He has a couple interesting things afterward, but initially he doesn't really have much. Orb. Now, I do kind of overreact here, I think, because the first 3 times I played this game, I always had trouble with this boss just because I always had a hard time just parsing his attack pattern, but for this recording, I had a really easy time with this boss, and I think adding some of the stuff I add here is a little overkill.
Just makes it faster.
Yeah, that's true. Also, neat little skip there. You could just jump up and grab that ledge. I think I putz around with armor here because it feels like I'm in medium roll right now, which I don't think I am, but also I kind of wanted to show off this new armor set we have. Yeah, I actually am a little bit over half. That might be why my rolls felt weird.
The rolls get heavier, roughly the same as Dark Souls.
Yeah, also Bloodborne armor.
Ah.
But that's not my style. I have a distinct aesthetic that I have to adhere to, or else it just doesn't feel right, you know? Now, I believe I put a sellsword there. If you use a sellsword, you can basically enable co-op, but it's local only, so...
Yeah. Because any game sold on Steam needs to have local co-op.
I mean, local co-op is nice if you want to play with buds. Online only is kind of stupid, but in a way, it doesn't really work for this game because if you're trying to copy Souls, one of the big things is online interactivity and interference. Well, that was that was convenient. Also, there was a I call them target combos, but that's not exactly what they are. But there was a combo where I did 2 heavy encounters and did an overhead swing. Apparently that's a combo, but I don't quite know how to do it, because I know it's not heavy light. But I don't know what the combo is. I did it entirely by accident, and I haven't been able to replicate it since. It's a very useful combo, too. Like, I can see that being useful for getting rid of higher enemies without swinging overhead like that.
It did look like you did an air slice, and it knocked a uranium rod out of his hand.
We got more grenades, which I never really used, but we got something more important. The Impin Crest Ring. Also, geometry fuckery here. You cannot go through the floor. I was trying to. It's just that they didn't put collision detection boxes there. And they also made it to where I can't jump back up. So, shit.
At least it didn't put it so high up you get fall damage.
Yeah. A lot of areas here have little niches that are out of the way, that way you could come back here and get new stuff like this. It's one of those classic Metroidvania style designs where they try to tease you with unlocks later for backtracking. I don't know if I'm okay with it because I never really come back here.
Oh, my throat.
It's funny, somebody in the SA thread was mentioning that with the ore, they don't really show off the gore in some ways. That's just because I stop attacking. If you just keep attacking the ball, they'll get gibbed pretty violently as well. Over here is a threat that I kind of want to prepare for. So this game has ninjas.
Oh, of course.
They're a lot easier than I remember, mainly because last time I was playing a dex build and it took a lot longer to kill. Also, I came here for no reason, because I can't access that. Oh well. Totally forgot that I needed something else for that. Now down this way is progress that I can't do in multiple dimensions, so we're not gonna do it. The game has a very distinct path that it wants you to take, and oftentimes I just don't wanna. But here, I have to. How the fuck did I miss them? Yeah, these Red Hook guys, they're not annoying now, but next episode they will be. Oh, they will be. Also, hey, free soldier poem. If I had more weapons, that'd be useful. I got a little bit of levels. Let's get some more stuff here and level up. I think using the blacksmith here was the overkill here, just because in retrospect the boss went down really quickly, and I don't think I needed it.
Yeah, but when is that ever a bad thing?
That's true. I mainly say that because I feel like I could have used it elsewhere. Oh man, could I have used it elsewhere? I could think of 2 places elsewhere that I could have used it, 3 in the future. That little attack damage would have been a lot better served elsewhere. Ah well, let's put more poetry into our boat ore.
Let's make it better red.
Much better. Now we need something called Lord's Order, which we won't be getting for a while. Believe me, I've looked into it. There's no way to scout ahead and scam one of those things. You are gated into getting that. Also gonna sell this stuff just because, you know, inventory space. Not gonna use them anyway, so who gives a shit? You also cannot sell your equipped items, so my boat ore is gonna stay with me forever. I'd sell some of the armor, but I actually might get use out of that in the future, so never mind. Now, as for levels, the thread and some comments have been vocal about, you know, saying I should get more strength. And what better way to get more strength than to wear heavy armor? That's wrong, by the way. Heavy armor is endurance, but, you know, I'm being dumb here. But along the heavy armor path is a lot of strength nodes, so even if getting that is really bizarre, it's still a great way to get strength, but just in passing. Now we gotta go up. And, I do believe I get some bad luck here that I think I might have forgotten to edit out, actually. It's not too quick, it's only like 10 or 15 seconds lost, but, it shows what happens when you're not paying attention.
Luke, this is post-AGDQ, you're not allowed to do that.
Ah, damn it. That AGDQ run for Salt and Sanctuary was kind of fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I watched that and was like, huh. This game is busted as hell.
Are you able to fly backwards from a ladder?
I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to attempt to do that because even though this is a Let's Play and showing it off would be cool, it would kind of be... With some of the stunts he does, it would really break the game over its back. I'm trying to see if I have a magic protection ring after that. I don't think I do. Oh yeah, right there. Whatever. No, I don't want to go anywhere. Please. But yeah, that AGDQ run was funny as hell, because I knew about the ladder glitch and I knew about the long jump glitch. Those two things are pretty good at just making the game way faster than it intended to be. I did not know that a unicorn could send you to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Speaking of unicorn, we're technically spoiling that, but we'll see that later. A friend of mine would be really pissed if I didn't show that off.
Well, it's not a huge spoiler. It's a fantasy game and there's a unicorn in it.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly for sure. I'm very conscious about my health items, so I just try to use red shards in order to get around wasting my health. Now here's a great way to tell your player base, hey, you're gonna be getting a power-up soon, and you're not getting out of here until you do, so you should grit your teeth and just deal with it. Because you can't go backwards because the walls prevent you that. But they give you the shortcut anyways, so whatever. And that shortcut also leads to something we saw a while ago. But anyways, as I was mentioning, that little wall there is a way of saying, you're gonna be getting a mechanic soon. You should probably pay attention, and I like that. It's one of the many small design elements I like about this game, in that the developers knew how to actually design levels. We also got the Phoenix Rodage, a shield that I can't use because of the limitations I have with my mode, but it resists fire damage. We also got a ring that resists fire damage. I wonder what we're gonna be worrying about in this area called the Castle of Storms.
Leaving your toaster on in a storm.
Yeah. I'm also putting on the blacksmith armor, which has fire resistance. I wonder what's coming up. Spoiler alert, it's a fucking dragon. The Masterless Knight explicitly told us, hey, that castle over there, yeah, it's a dragon. You should probably watch out.
You should go have some fun.
And that's what we're gonna do. But first, there's still more treasure. I'm always nervous about these platforms too. No matter how often I play this game, I am always nervous about this part because I don't have the thing that makes platforming way easier. I kind of wanted to go back up after seeing that bottle that said try jumping right, but couldn't reach it. Also over here, we have a couple items that I missed. Silver leaf is an upgrade material, I believe. And a chest hidden in bad lighting.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's one that they often... That's how they like to get you with some of the treasure chests here. It's not visually hidden, it's just too dark to see. I think I'm ready to go. This boss could be a bit of a hassle.
Kraeken
He is a
Wyrm.
Kraken. Yeah, he's a Kraken and also a worm. How do you do that? So I haven't played in a month, and this boss has rather disjointed hitboxes, so fighting him is a little awkward. I believe this video I kind of pad it by showing a failed attempt and then the successful attempt. This attack right here, the tail swipe, if you don't know how to dodge that, you are going to get hit because it has a delayed hit, not in the sense of like a delayed combo that you would see from, say, the Sodden Knight. It's just it sticks around a lot longer than you'd expect, so you want to delay your roll just a little bit longer. Now, I keep the fight in because, despite a Bodor, I'm actually doing a lot of damage. A surprising amount of damage. Which leads to, overconfidence. Which, as you know, is a slow and steady killer.
Or very quickly. Usually pretty quickly.
Yeah. Now, yeah, well, that right there, he got into his second phase, so he got more aggressive, and I just, I lost my head.
I read obliterated in the Darkest Dungeon narrator voice.
Obliterated. Yeah. No, this is directly after, and this is a successful attempt. Now, unlike, Dark Souls, resistance actually matters here, because that fire attack normally would evaporate your entire bar and also give you a hilarious amount of wounds. Like, you would be down 1/4 of your health bar in a damn instance because of that fire attack. But luckily, thanks to all the resistance stacking, it makes a difference. Unfortunately, I don't have any actual defense, so the tail swipe hurts.
One thing I've noticed about all the bosses, which kind of amuses me, is that they're all just hanging out.
Yeah. I mentioned it before in a previous video, they're not in the way, they're out of the way. And the only reason you have to kill these bosses is because they each possess a key or are kind of blocking some kind of ability that you need to progress. Which is kind of a flaw in my opinion. The big thing about big thing about bosses in general is that they should be impeding progress. They should be in the way, they should be a hassle. And you never really feel like you're obliged to kill anything here. You just kind of stumble upon a boss and then kill it because,
He looks gross.
But yeah, luckily the Kraeken Wyrm here is not too much trouble. I don't know if he has a weakness to bludgeoning damage, but he goes down way quicker than in any of my other runs. Probably because he's not using his breath as much as he would before.
Oh, my toe.
Well, I just killed a dragon with a Bodor, it's fine. How does that even happen? We got his horn as well, which I believe is a caster item? I'm not 100% sure.
Just on its own?
No, you craft it into a boss weapon, much like boss ashes in Souls games. And here, we meet a friend. This is another one of the quest lines that I have to follow if I want to be, you know, comprehensive in any sort of means. Lady, I just killed a dragon with a Bodor. I think that dagger would have been a little bit better. I actually kind of like this character. She seems nonplussed right now. Well, that's probably not the good word. She seems uninteresting right now, but she's the most practical character in this game, and because of that, I like her.
She basically said, well, if a fucker like you can do it, then I can.
Yeah. A lot of her writing later on is really good just by merit of she has common sense, but she's also kind of greedy. Now, what we got before is wall jump.
Wow.
A good ability. Not great, but it's helpful.
You're not going to do any Super Metroid super breaks, are you?
Unfortunately, no. You can't do the wall jump spam like you can in Super Metroid. They actually intended that. However, once you get another item, you could do that to a degree. But yeah, wall jump is key to progress just because levels are designed around it. A lot of the platforming is really fun with it. Like, I'm glad they didn't make wall jump complicated. In every Metroid game I play, I don't like it because you have to jump into the wall while doing a spin, and then you have to turn away from the wall and jump at the same time to do it. And while it's easy to do, it's still just like a mess of things to do. In this game, you just jump into a wall, press A, you wall jump. It's not a hassle. It's fine. But luckily, that's for the most part this level. So we're gonna spend our salt, get a couple levels, and hopefully figure out what we're gonna do next.
More of that.
more killing of skulls. Though there is one thing that we did get. The key unlocks progress, but it also unlocks another thing. I don't believe I get it now because I want to spend this 18,000 salt. Yeah, because we killed the dragon, the Masterless Knight has moved on forward. Because we basically stole his job.
So now he's also a pointless knight.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of endurance. I kind of need that stamina. Get some strength. Get some more heavy armor, that way I could equip more stuff. It's amusing because throughout the recordings I keep getting heavy armor and endurance, mainly for equip load, but I never really exploit that. One thing I could do is get the heavy mace fighter tree for extra strength, but that seems a little excessive in my opinion. Now over here is a door that we couldn't have accessed until now. Gives us a couple cool items. Nothing really helpful, but, you know, every little bit helps. Gray Pearl is a free undo button for one of our levels. Just one, but it helps.
Like the one you just took today.
Yeah. And there's a trap there. There are 2 traps. But there's also a chest here that we could get. And we get the Titan gear, which is basically the gear that the big guys are wearing. Castle of Storms. 2. It's very heavy. But I believe that is all for next time on Sultan Sanctuary. You're gonna be in for a treat, because I said I do this game in a route that the game intends. But, however, if I want to survive with this mode, I have to actually go through an area normally, which I have never done before. So next time on Sultan Sanctuary, the Red Hall of Cage is blind? I want to say blind, because I've never done it before, and oh man, I hate that place. I hate that place.